Hello everyone and welcome to Mumu and Tom's channel. We are a couple from a remote rural area in China, unable to make a living in the countryside. We decided a year ago to move to Shenzhen, China's largest city. Because Mumu has a higher level of education than I do, she was able to find a suitable job, whereas I was laid off by my company just a week ago. It wasn't for a lack of effort on my part, the company simply cut the entire project. Now, with no source of income, I am entirely dependent on Mumu. That is why I started this channel, to share our lives and hopefully relieve some of the pressure we're under. Every morning I get up on time to take Mumu to the subway station, since our rental is quite a distance away, and pick up breakfast for her along the way. Chang Fein steamed rice rolls, a snack from Guangdong, China that costs about 50 cents.
拜拜，拜拜，拜拜。
Next, I'll go back home and do some cleaning. When Mumu gets off work, I'll head to the subway station to pick her up and then we'll go buy groceries together. Mumu gets off work right during China's rush hour. At this time, every intersection is packed with people and vehicles.
眼睛好吗？
去买菜。
Now we're off to buy the ingredients for tonight's dinner. Don't ask why I didn't get everything ready before Mumu got back. She really enjoys the experience of us shopping for groceries together.
你会中吗？不会吧？
We'll buy the vegetables first because Mumu really loves Kongshin Chai. I'm not sure what it's called in your hometown, but we call it Kongshin Kai, literally hollow-stemmed vegetable, because the stems are hollow in the middle. It has a crisp texture that Mumu really enjoys, and this bunch costs about 27 cents. Then we're going to buy some meat, because back home there's a type of very fragrant pressed tofu, and Mumu loves stir-fried meat with pressed tofu. This meat cost about $1.20. We were actually about to leave, but fortunately Mumu noticed that this stall was selling pressed tofu, so we just bought some right there. Spicy firm tofu is also $1.20. We finished buying all the groceries for today and are heading home to cook. The total came to $2.60. This is the place we're renting, $200 a month. It's the cheapest option in the area, mainly because we're on the 8th floor of a walk-up. Climbing those stairs every day to get to and from get off work is a real ordeal. The lights here break down frequently. Sometimes I have to make my way home in the dark. When we get home, I start prepping the ingredients while Mumu attends to work matters. In China, employees often lose their personal time after hours simply because their boss calls on them. Kongshin Kai needs to be broken into pieces and washed thoroughly with clean water first, otherwise it may contain dirt, grit or insects. I'm going to cook some rice now. In China, rice is the staple food for both lunch and dinner. Let me briefly introduce this refrigerator. I bought it at a second-hand market for just $8. It had a cooling issue at the time, but I fixed it. Rice often contains a lot of impurities, so we usually give it a quick rinse with water. That's something my mother taught me. This is a local specialty my mom sent me from back home. Smoked pork coated in a mixture of rice flour and 5-spice powder, then steamed right on top of the rice. The aroma is absolutely incredible. Now it's time to start preparing the ingredients. When preparing the pork, I first separate the fat from the lean meat, but not completely, because lean meat with just a little bit of fat tastes better. Now give the meat a quick marinade. I add some light soy sauce, cornstarch, oyster sauce, and salt, mix it all together well, and let it sit for a few minutes. This makes the meat much more flavorful when stir-fried. Simply remove the stems from the chili peppers and slice them. That's all you need to do. Next up is our smoked tofu. I simply have to highly recommend it. It also has a distinct smoky flavor. Now for our aromatics, garlic and ginger. Here's a little trick for mincing garlic. First, smash the clove with the flat of your knife, then give it a gentle tug and the skin will come right off. Mincing it after that is much easier. I picked up this induction cooktop at a second-hand market for about $10. Although it's a bit old, it works perfectly. First, we'll render the fat out of the fatty meat. A blend of lard and rapeseed oil makes for a more aromatic stir-fry. Next, stir-fry the pork over high heat. Remove it from the pan once it is about 60% cooked to prevent it from burning. Next, saute the ginger, garlic, and chili over low heat until fragrant. Finally, add the firm tofu and meat, season to taste, and transfer the dish to a plate. The next dish is stir-fried Kong Shin Chai. Add a little salt before stir-frying leafy greens. This helps them become fragrant and cook through more quickly. This technique works for all types of greens. Finally, dish up the rice and it's time to eat. If you enjoy our channel, please subscribe. Thank you all for your support.